Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Jimmy Butler breaks his silence on Pat Riley, telling him to keep your mouth shut. Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler responded to Pat Riley's comments towards him during last season's playoffs. After Butler made comments about the New York Knicks and Boston Celtics, Riley had a harsh message for his star player, who missed Miami's first-round playoff series with an injury. On Monday, Butler said that he's going to go out and play as many games as he can in the 2024-25 season. This is great news for the Heat, as Butler has not played more than 64 games in a single season since joining the franchise ahead of the 2019-20 season. He's played in 58, 52, 57, 64, and 60 games with Miami. While Butler has led the Heat to 2 NBA Finals appearances and 3 Eastern Conference Finals appearances over that stretch, the Heat have needed him more in the regular season the past 2 campaigns. In the 2022-23 season, Miami made the NBA Finals, but it took an improbable path to get there after earning the number 8 seed in the Eastern Conference by way of the play-in tournament. Last season, the Heat also ended up with the number 8 seed after getting through the play-in tournament, but they lost to the Celtics in the first round. Butler was injured in a play-in tournament loss to the Philadelphia 76ers, and it cost Miami a real chance at making a deep playoff run. There's no doubt that Butler has done a ton of great things for the Heat since joining the franchise, and it appears he's taking Riley's challenge to heart in the 2024-25 season. Butler is also entering an important season for his future, as he could opt out of his contract at the end of the season to become a free agent. If he wants the Heat to commit to him for the long haul, he may need to prove to Riley and the front office that he can play at a high level and a high number of games, even at 35 years old. Last season, Butler averaged 20.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 5.0 assists per game while shooting 49.9% from the field and 41.4% from beyond the arc. He'll look to build on those numbers when the 2024-25 regular season kicks off later this fall. NBA rumors matured Tyler Herro could change the math for the Miami Heat this season. At Miami Heat Media Day, it was all business. The biggest surprise was Jimmy Butler's late arrival, but once he did make it to Media Day, it was all business even for him. While many will try to decipher Jimmy's Media Day tardiness, it's hard to consider that the biggest story for the Heat. At Media Day, it was Tyler Herro's maturity that should be the headlining story for Miami. At last year's Media Day, Herro entered with a desire to prove everyone wrong. One of his revealed goals before last season was to average 25 points per game. This season, he appears to be a player with a different mindset. At least that's the impression he gave at Media Day. In a complete change, Herro's goal heading into this season is to simply fit in, to do everything the Heat needs him to do to help the team. If so, it's certainly a stark change from last year. Tyler Herro on his mindset this year: last year I came in saying I want to average 25 ppg. I'm just here to play, whatever I end up averaging, I end up averaging. Not here to push any agendas like all-star or anything. If Herro's comments are genuine and he's ready to embrace whatever role the Heat asks from him, this is the type of situation that could completely change the math for the team, especially if it allows the team to open the door to bringing Herro off the bench. As we've seen before, Herro is one of the best players in the league when he's coming off the bench in a sixth-man role. If he's genuine about playing a part and trying to help the Heat be the best team possible, this has to be an option heading into the start of the season. It may be hard to believe, but Herro had the best season of his career in that sixth-man role. He was efficient and everything the Heat needed off the bench. That's also the year the Heat won 53 games in the regular season and finished as the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Boston Celtics in Game 7, but if it wasn't for Jimmy falling apart in the playoffs, they probably make the NBA Finals that season. Moving Herro back to a sixth-man role could be tempting for the Heat. And for as much as Herro wants to make being a starter happen, the facts are that he might be an elite sixth man and just a good starter. If that is the case, the decision is pretty simple. Last season, Herro was trying to be the guy. This season, Herro says he just wants to be a guy. And if this maturity is a sign of things to come for Herro this season, it could certainly open things up and change the math for the Heat. Jimmy Butler opens up on Miami Heat not giving him a contract extension. Jimmy Butler's future with the Miami Heat remains uncertain, with the two sides having failed to come to terms on a contract extension this offseason. On Media Day, Butler was asked about his thoughts on not getting a deal and stated he plans to let his play show that he is worth holding on to. "I guess I gotta go out there and I gotta hoop," Butler said. "I've gotta prove that I'm a major part of winning, and rightfully so. I've done it before, this is no different. This is going to be a great year for myself. This is going to be a great year for the group of guys that we have. That'll take care of itself whenever the time comes." Butler, who averaged 20.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, 5.0 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.3 blocks per game in 2023-24, was then asked if he thought about wanting to be elsewhere at any point this offseason, with the Heat not wanting to offer him a deal. In response, the 35-year-old made it clear he didn't. "Nah, I'm good," Butler stated. "An extension is just a couple of dollars. I'm cool, I'm telling you. I think I've made enough. I just want to play basketball, I want to be available like Pat Riley was talking about, and I plan on being that. I plan on us winning a bunch of games and making everybody happy." It had been reported earlier in the offseason that Butler sought a 2-year extension worth about $113 million from the Heat. The front office wasn't all that keen on giving the six-time All-Star that deal, though, and I can't be too critical of them for that. Butler has missed a fair bit of time due to injury since joining the Heat in 2019, and his 2023-24 season came to a bit of an early end too. He suffered a right MCL sprain in the play-in tournament against the Philadelphia 76ers and subsequently missed the first-round series against the Boston Celtics, which Miami lost in 5 games. Butler has failed to play in 65 regular season games in any campaign for the Heat, and you don't expect him to get healthier as he ages. Making that big of a financial commitment to him is quite risky, and I understand the Heat wanting to wait a bit. By doing that, though, the Heat risk Butler leaving for free in 2025, as he has a player option worth $52.4 million for 2025-26. If he leaves, any and all chances they have of winning a title go with him. Butler stated that he plans to prove his worth on the court, and NBA insider Brian Windhorst believes he will dominate next season. Windhorst thinks Butler will be in killer mode to prove himself. Here's the thing. Jimmy Butler not extending and basically saying I'll be a free agent next July, whether that is true or not, remains to be seen. He has a $52 million player option in the last year of that deal. Jimmy Butler, highly motivated to be a free agent, I think, is a different animal. And the Heat have had absolutely miserable health luck the last couple of years. At times it seems like Jimmy looks for reasons not to play. And maybe that will be the prevailing situation. But I believe Jimmy is going to be in killer mode to try and prove himself to the Heat and whoever else in the league. I can't say I share Windhorst's belief. Butler hasn't taken the regular season all that seriously for years, and I don't see that changing. He might dominate in the postseason, as he did in 2022 and 2023, but I don't expect his numbers in the regular season to be eye-popping. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.